Hello, ladies. It is Friday at 4:15. I scheduled this live. I am actually going to teach about TDEE today. Feel free to hop on and say hi. So I'm going to do a little educational piece today, and then I'll take answers or answers, questions. Then I'll take questions or answers, I suppose. Maybe I have questions. All right. Hey, Paula. Hey, Linda. Hey, Kristen. Somebody's from Tampa, Florida. I love Florida. Florida's like my favorite. Y'all can see my ring light on here. You know what? Maybe I don't need my ring light because then it just shines on here. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I'm kind of dark, but you know what? Not too dark. All right. So I think this is important stuff that everybody needs to know about your total daily energy expenditure. If you're trying to be in a calorie deficit, if you're trying to lose fat as a woman over 40, or maybe you're not over 40, maybe you're in your 30s, whatever. If you're trying to lose fat, regardless, this is important stuff to know about your calorie output every day. So TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, that's just a fancy way of saying the calories we output each day. And if you're going to lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit, not a calorie surplus. In other words, you need to intake less calories than you output, right? So this is made up of 4 components. And here's the thing. See this part right here? BMR? That's your basal metabolic rate. That's 70% of your total calories. You're seeing it backwards. Oh, you are seeing it backwards. That is a good point. I should probably film with the other side of the camera instead. Yeah, mirror. I get it. I should have written it out or done it a different way. You know what? Can you tell this is my first time doing it like this? How about I talk about it instead? So you get the idea of the pie chart though. Even though it's backwards, I'm gonna go with it. Thank you for telling me. I really appreciate it. This just goes to prove how imperfect I am. Okay, anyways. So your BMR is 70% of your total daily calories that you burn every day. And that's a huge part of the pie, right? Like, so if we think about a pie graph and we think about 70% of that, that's a huge deal. That's your metabolism. That is your base metabolism. That means the calories you burn at rest. Here's what I mean at rest. I don't mean just when you take a nap. That's not what I mean. I mean the calories that your body burns, yes, when you're sleeping, but the calories your body burns just to keep your body temperature at homeostasis, right? Just to keep our body temperature level. Or the calories your body burns just to keep yourself breathing. The calories your body burns just to keep your heart beating. So all of the life functions of your body, that is part of calories burned at rest. And so 70% of the calories you burn per day are just calories to keep you alive. That's good news, right? A lot of people refer to BMR as metabolism, right? And if people say to me, I have a slow metabolism, I'm gonna turn my light back on. I have a slow metabolism. That just might mean I have a low BMR. Or if somebody has a high metabolism, that they probably have a high BMR, basal metabolic rate. Well, let's talk about those other components. So the other components, 15% of the pie is your NEAT, N-E-A-T, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that is exactly what it sounds like, non-exercise. So activity that's not exercise, that burns calories. In other words, fidgeting, moving around at your desk, right? That burns calories. Getting up to go to the bathroom, that burns calories. Getting in steps, daily steps that we get in every day, that is part of NEAT. And that's why getting in daily steps is such a big deal in fat loss, because when we're talking 15% of the pie here, that's a big deal. It's a lot bigger of a deal than the other two pieces I'm about to talk about. So there's two pieces left. We talk about BMR, 70%, NEAT, non-exercise activity, that's 15%. TEF, thermic effective food, that is roughly 10%. Now, all that is a fancy way of saying the calories you use to digest carbs, proteins, and fats. Because your body has to burn calories in order for digestion to take place. Now, here's the cool fact. Fun fact, protein has the highest thermic effective food. Then carbs and fats have the least thermic effective food. So protein has about a 20 to 30% thermic effect rate, meaning for every 100 calories of protein, pure protein that you eat, 20 to 30% of that protein is going to be burned just through digestion. This is one reason why protein is so important, and it keeps you satiated, it keeps you full. Protein digests very slowly. It has a high thermic effective food. It is a fantastic macronutrient that we need to be focused on if you are in a fat loss phase. Carbs have about a 10% thermic effective food, and fats have a 0 to 3% thermic effective food. So that does not mean, now when I say this, that does not mean if you eat 100 calories worth of steak to only count it as 70 calories. That's not what that means. Don't go changing your calorie tracking log because of that. Keep it as is. I'm just telling you, when you eat a higher protein diet, you're more likely to stay satisfied, fuller, longer, and it also helps mitigate muscle loss because protein is the primary component of macro for muscle building. And then finally, back to calorie output, TDEE, which we were talking about, the big pie. So we talked about BMR, 70%. We talked about NEAT, non-exercise activity, 15%. TEF, digestion calories, that's about 10%. And then the last piece of the puzzle, 5% left, that's all we have left, is intentional exercise, strength training. 5%. 5% is left for strength training and cardio. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, then why even bother? Why, Casey, why do you spend at least 4 days a week in the gym doing strength training if it's only 5% of the calories that you burn? Here's why. Because it's not about the hour that I spend at the gym. It's about the other 23 hours a day. Because when you muscle build, the fourth M in Form Fit, when you muscle build, you in turn affect that giant BMR slice of the pie. In other words, you boost your metabolism. You boost your basal metabolic rate. So that 70%, you're actually going to end up raising the score of your metabolism, and you are going to end up burning more calories at rest. And boy, I love it when I burn more calories at rest. Your muscles burn more calories than fat. So I personally want to put on muscle, because then for all the hours of the day that I'm not in the gym, strength training, my body is burning calories very efficiently because it needs it, because I have muscle. So I spend that hour in the gym or 4 hours a week in the gym so that all the other hours of the entire week, I can burn more calories. That's why. Because it boosts your metabolism. That is going to bring you sustainable, long-term fat loss. So we cannot ignore the 5% of the pie. We cannot ignore that EAT. It's called exercise activity thermogenesis. So that is the piece of the pie that I don't want any of my one-on-one clients, I don't let them ignore that. Now, do we focus on diet first? Yes, because diet is always going to be the driver of fat loss, period. But do we slowly incorporate muscle building? Yes, because nobody joins FormFit because they want to gain the weight back. No one. People join because they want to lose weight in a sustainable way and keep it off. And I want nothing more for my clients than for them to get to their goal weight. And at that point, we actually have, I think, 5 clients right now. We have 5 clients right now in a reverse diet. That means at this moment, I have 5 clients that have hit their goal weight, and our coaches have put them in a reverse diet, meaning we're going to slowly add back calories while they build muscle. We're going to boost their metabolism, and they're not going to gain weight. And it just gives these clients a sense of freedom that they've never had before. It gives the clients a sense of food freedom because they're not scared. They're not scared of food or calories. So really, that's what I'm trying to build for all of my clients. And some of you might be a part of March Meltdown. That is starting on Monday. I do have group coaching. I have one-on-one clients, but I also have group coaching programs because I kind of want to make programs available for many instead of just a few. If you are curious about March Meltdown, by the way, my website went down last week, and it just, man, it like took a crash and burn last week. It's okay though. You can still go, it's up now. It's not 100%, but it's like, it's there. Anyways, so you can go to thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, and then there's a coaching tab, and you click on that coaching tab, and it will take you to one of 2 options. It's just like, hey, are you interested in one-on-one? Or are you interested in group? Click on which one you're interested in, and then it gives you more information. You can look at all the information there. Like, I'm very transparent in giving you all the stuff. So that is there for you. But that was today's topic, total daily energy expenditure. It's very important to understand how important it is to build the muscle, that 5%, in order to increase our metabolism. Of course, eating a high protein diet is also important. And we talked about thermic effective food while we're at it. One thing I do want to mention, I'm still raising money for the American Heart Association. I'm not even halfway through with I think it's a 9-week period that I'm doing this because I was nominated as a Woman of Impact. I need more people on my team. So if you're interested in being on my team, email me at office@thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. office@thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. Say, hey, I'm interested in being on your heart team, and I will personally set you up a page. And here's the deal. All you have to do, this is it. I'm going to set up a page for you, and all you have to do is share the link. And if you share the link on your Facebook, or you share the link on your Instagram, or you share the link, share it on social media. I will set up a page for you. You will share it on social media. And if you get a donation of $25 or more, I will send you my 2 cookbooks. Boom. Easy, right? So if you want the newest cookbook is called Heart Healthy Bowls, and I'm only offering it through the fundraiser. So if you, of course, don't want to, you're like, I don't really want to share a link and try to raise money. That's fine. You don't have to. You can, if you want to just donate $25 and get those cookbooks, you can do that too. And you'll get the Heart Healthy Bowls and Love in a Mud. It's 25 recipes for $25. And that is, there's a little button at the top of my Instagram. It's called AHA for American Heart Association. And you can find it there. And if you're interested in joining my team, I would love for you to join my team. And we can even Zoom and talk about it if you want to. Just email office@thecaloriedeficitqueen.com and let them know. Say, hey, I'm interested in joining Casey's heart team. I would love for you to join. I am going to take questions. I'm not going to scroll my phone back to the first thing first. So if you have a question you asked earlier, ask again. And I'll watch it scroll by and see it. And now I've learned the lessons here. Like, yeah, I'm going to have to film it a different way. Because I'm not going to, yeah. Anybody have a question? It doesn't have to be about TDEE. It can be about whatever you have a question on. It might be about your own personal goal. Okay, so until I see a question roll by, I am personally trying to make this room into a filming studio, so to speak. It's kind of here. There's like some of my lights over there, and there's you can't really see it, but I've taken everything off of this wall. I've got my mat down here. I've got dumbbells right here. So I'm just trying to make one of the rooms of our house a filming studio so that I can better film workouts and that kind of thing. And also start working on my YouTube page. So I'm gonna start posting there as well. I still haven't seen a question roll by. Y'all gonna make me scroll to the top for those questions unless somebody asked one and I didn't see it. How can you manage dizziness on a diet? Ooh, Courtney. Well, I wonder if your dizziness is caused by too low of calories. Like maybe your calorie deficit is too low, right? So, or maybe when you're in a deficit, you're not getting enough electrolytes. So for you, I would try maybe being in a deficit that's a very minimal deficit. Deficit meaning maybe only 200 to 300 calories away from maintenance instead of 500 calories away from maintenance. And then make sure that you're drinking electrolytes, staying very hydrated. So start there, but also, I mean, the real answer, you'd have to probably talk to your physician, talk to your doctor about that, to see if there's some other underlying cause that's causing the dizziness. Ways to help getting enough water every day. Do I count herbal tea or seltzer water? Here's the great news. I count herbal tea and seltzer water as water. In fact, I drink herbal tea every day. I just finished some tea. I usually have mint tea with lemon in it every day, and it's awesome and I love it. Maybe not in the summer so much, but when it's cold, I do. And also in this right here, there's water, but I also put like that, those Mio things that you squirt in here, like the strawberry watermelon's one of my favorites, lemonade's one of my favorites, because you probably heard me say this before in a video. I do not like water flavored water, not my favorite thing. So I don't make it water flavored. But if you're gonna use like a Mio or something, make sure it's low sugar, like 5 calories or less. Workout supplements, creatine. Creatine is what I use. And if you don't know, I just did a podcast. It's like a 25-minute podcast all about creatine. It's called Creatine 101. And my podcast is called Transform Yourself. But you have to spell it TRANS for M, yourself. So transform yourself. And my husband and I just did one all about creatine. So go give that a listen. And then after you listen, you're probably going to want to run out and buy some creatine. It is great for bone health. It is great for mental health. It is great for brain health. It is great for muscle health. It is great for recovery. It is just fantastic. Sweet Shishi. I love your name. That is such a... How do I get started with you? I just started working out and need to start a calorie deficit. Go to thecaloriedeficitqueen.com and then click on the coaching page. And then you're going to see 2 options. And you can go to both to just kind of see what's there and choose what's going to work out for you. Okay. No more questions right now. What else am I working on right now? I am working on creating more studio programs for my members. I have my own app called the FormFit app in the phone, but you have to be a member. But I'm working on creating more studio programs for the members because I want to make sure that I consistently add value to the program. Workout type things. Somebody asked, do I recommend collagen supplements? There's 2 collagen supplements I recommend that I use. One of them that I use daily and one of them that I use just kind of as an extra supplement. The one I use daily is just from Costco, and it's literally like these liquid capsules that you put in water. So again, I'm drinking water, bonus, not water flavored water, bonus, getting collagen, bonus. And it's not one of those protein powders because collagen powders. The collagen powders don't seem to mix very well, but this is liquid. And I don't remember the brand name, I'm really sorry. But go to Costco if you go, and then it's these little boxes, and it's liquid, and it's like 15 calories per capsule, which a lot of the collagen powders are around 50 calories or more. And so I just try to keep calories low when it comes to those kind of supplements. So that's what I use daily. And then the second one that I use is meal boosters. And the reason I use meal boosters is because they have a cheese flavored collagen powder. And if you do not know about this, you gotta go check it out. It is a cheese flavored protein powder. It is collagen based. It is amazing. I basically take 2 scoops of meal boosters, blend it with a cup of cottage cheese, and it tastes, like it's white cheddar. Oh my God, I want some right now. It tastes just like queso. It's so amazing. And it's literally high protein queso, high protein, low calorie queso. And who doesn't love queso? I mean, do I recommend a protein powder? Yes, always Sweat Ethic. I've been using Sweat Ethic for years, and I will not use any other protein powder. It's just my favorite. So, somebody asked about using mineral sea salt. I'm assuming you're asking if I use it in my water. I don't typically use it in my water. Exercise on how to focus on tightening those lower glutes and define the glute hamstring area. Okay, so here's the thing about glutes. So here's a mistake people make when it comes to glutes. A lot of times women will do one type of glute exercise, but not the other type. You need to have both a hip hinge, like you need to have some kind of squat. You need to have some kind of lunge. And then you also need to finally have a thrust. So when you take those and you combine them into a leg day, you're going to hit your glutes in all the places. Another one, just because you want to hit your medial glutes, you might want to do like the abduction machine at a gym. That's going to best hit your medial glutes, but having some kind of squat, some kind of lunge, and the lunge could be a Bulgarian split squat, that can be considered your lunge variation, and then a thrust, a hip thrust. Those 3 in combination will hit your glutes. So yeah. What else about me? I am personally I've been, since the beginning of January, I kind of put myself in a fat loss phase just because I kind of got fluffy at the end of December. Look, holidays happen. I love holiday desserts and all the holiday things and whatever. I gained like 10 pounds. Fine, whatever. 10 pounds gone. But yeah, so I am now I'm kind of almost in a maintenance at this point. And then I'm just going to basically put myself back in a reverse diet so that I can reverse back the calories at a slow rate without fat gain. So that is kind of where I'm personally at in my own body composition goals. The cheese name, the queso thing, that is called Meal Boosters. And if you go to Meal Boosters or Sweat Ethic, the code FORMFIT, 4MFIT, you know what? Here. 4MFIT, that's the code for pretty much any of the brands I rep. Here's the thing, I'm not a brand whore. I mean, you might go to other people's page and they might rep this thing and that thing and this thing. Like, there's very few products I rep, and I probably get no less than 2 to 3 emails per day. I'm talking like 60 plus emails a month of people trying to get me to make videos about their product. I mean, I'm talking stuff from like makeup to clothing that I wouldn't wear to red light therapy. Maybe I should get into that, but I just don't want to say yes to everybody. I've said yes to 2 people specifically, and it was Meal Boosters and Sweat Ethic, because I love their product. I'm very consistent that I've used them for years, and it brings me the benefits I need. Reverse diet is going to be a little bit different for everyone depending on how quickly you build muscle and where your protein goal is and how much fat you had to lose and how long it took you. And so reverse diet is going to be a little different for each person. Somebody asked me a question about it, so I'm trying to answer it. And so the best generic advice I can give on a reverse diet is that it has to be done in a very methodical and slow manner, period. If you try to reverse too fast, you're gonna end up gaining fat back, we don't want that. It takes time to put on muscle. Muscle is not going to, you're not gonna go to the gym in a month, put on a bunch of muscle in 1 month. If you did, every man I know would be at the gym, like trying to pump iron, right? Like that doesn't happen. You have to be consistent at it. I read something yesterday and I thought, oh, that's brilliant. We don't need 75 hard. We need 365 consistent. And I thought, brilliant. So brilliant. That's exactly right. Somebody asked, how do you know your calorie deficit? Typically, I have calorie deficit calculator on my website, but as I mentioned earlier, I had a crash and burn of my website this last week. The host that I was using, I'm moving hosts because the host I was using for my website just did not work out for me. So, the best way to calculate it right now, today, is go to tdeecalculator.net. TDEE stands for Total Daily Energy Expenditure, what we just talked about at the very beginning of this. tdeecalculator.net, enter your stuff. It's going to give you maintenance calories. Maintenance calories is not the same thing as your deficit. Maintenance calories is exactly that. The calories that you are going to burn if you wanted to maintain your weight, or the calories you would eat if you wanted to maintain your weight. Well, you want to lose weight, right? So I suggest subtracting 300 from maintenance and also 500 for maintenance. And then it's going to give you this little 200 calorie window of what you can eat in. I'm not saying you're eating 200 calories. That's not what I said. But it's going to get, like, let's say your maintenance calories is exactly 2,000, just for easy number's sake. You would subtract 300 from 2,000 and get 1,700. You would subtract 500 from 2,000 and get 1,500. So that means you would eat between 1,500 and 1,700 calories per day. Easy math. But you're going to put in your numbers in tdeecalculator.net. You're going to see what maintenance calories it gives you. And from there, subtract 300 and 500. to get your window of opportunity. So that is my best suggestion. All right. Well, I am good to go. It is 4:45, and if you've been in any of my other lives, you know I am like an old lady. I eat dinner around 5 o'clock, which means it's almost time to start cooking dinner. I know people think I'm insane that I eat dinner so early. I always eat dinner right around 5 o'clock, 5:30. Like, if it's past 5:30, I'm like hangry. So, thanks for showing up, y'all. I'm going to try to start doing these on Fridays, right around this time. So, show up on Fridays if you want to hang. Thanks for hanging with me.